In a world where PC gaming is dominated by lightweight gaming mice, there just aren't as many exciting options for those that prefer a heavier mouse. But of course you've got stuff like the tried and true classics, the Razer Basilisk. I was shopping around for a new mouse for non-FPS games and productivity, and I decided to check out the Razer Basilisk, and that's when I stumbled upon this, the Razer Basilisk V3 Hyperspeed. That's what it's called. There were like no reviews for this thing at all on YouTube as far as I could find, so I decided to take it upon myself and review it myself. Basically, it's an updated version to go with their V3 lineup like the V3 Pro and the V3 Wired. So for $69.99, is this worth your hard-earned money as a budget wireless option? If you're not familiar, Razer's X versions of their products tend to be more of a budget-friendly alternative to a more premium version. Given that it's a more budget-friendly option, you're going to want to keep in mind that it's not going to have all the features that the Pro version would have. There's no cable because there's no recharging. It runs purely on a AA battery, which does have one included in the box. It has a basic scroll wheel versus the Pro version's infinite scroll wheel, and it also doesn't have the tilting scroll wheel, meaning you can't click the scroll wheel left to right like you can on the Pro. And the only RGB to speak of is on the scroll wheel itself. It's got a magnetic cover, you can just lift that off to install the battery, and the wireless dongle is going to be stored inside as well. That makes me very happy because honestly it should be a standard requirement for wireless mice to have a storage compartment on the mouse for the dongle when it's not in use. So with that said, the Basilisk V3 Pro starts at $159.99. If you want to charge it with a wireless dock, that brings the price up to about $230, and to my knowledge the version bundled with the dock is only available directly through Razer. So that Pro version starts at over double the price of this one, and even more if you want the dock. For that amount of money you can buy 3 of these and a whole pack of batteries to last you for a long time. That is absolutely insane. $230 just for a mouse, I mean that's nuts. Even $150 for the mouse itself is way too much in my opinion, especially when you got options like this. I don't have the V3 Pro, so I'm not really going to do a comparison, but I would argue that a closer alternative to this would actually be 2019's Basilisk Ultimate. That was the previous high-end wireless version of the Basilisk. Now that one you can get bundled with the dock for $159.99 retail, however, given that it's a 4-year-old mouse, you can find it on Amazon and Best Buy on sale all the time. In fact, I picked one up myself in addition to this for only $10 more. It was only about $80 for it bundled with the dock. Now that price, it's not set in stone, so it's not really going to be that close of a comparison. It just depends on how cheap you can find it for. I got it for $80, and even as of recording this, it's already gone up to $90 on Amazon. But if you're willing to go refurbished, you can even get it for only $5 more than this. By the way, I did pay for these both with my own money, so if you do plan to pick up anything mentioned in this video, I will have everything linked in the description with affiliate links from Amazon, so, you know, it would help get a little bit back. I'm just putting that out there. It's up to you. Alright, so the Basilisk V3 Hyperspeed. It has Razer's 5G advanced 18K optical sensor, which if it's not obvious by the name, it lets you go up to 18,000 DPI, which is way more than anyone would ever need. The Ultimate goes up to 20,000, but it's also an older sensor, so that might be something to keep in mind if you want something newer and maybe more advanced. Even though it goes to a lower DPI, chances are you're never going to go up to nearly that much DPI, and if you're one of those people who has a weird use case where you might, then obviously if you want more DPI, then this is not the mouse for you. The V3 has Razer's Gen 2 mechanical switches, which sound and feel very nice, very satisfying. It's got a very tactile feedback, in my opinion feels a lot better than the switches on the Basilisk Ultimate. The Ultimate uses optical switches, but to me they just feel and sound a little bit more hollow in a way. In addition to Razer's Hyperspeed wireless with the USB dongle, the V3 also has Bluetooth. The Basilisk Ultimate does not have Bluetooth at all, so if you want Bluetooth, you're going to want to look at the V3 You just flip the switch on the bottom of the mouse to the Bluetooth side and pair it to your device, and it works really well. I was able to connect to my MacBook and my Steam Deck without any issues. You've got up to 285 hours of battery life, or even higher at 535 hours if you're only using Bluetooth. Obviously there's a lot of variables here. If you're switching between Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz wireless, the battery life is going to vary, and it also depends on if you're using the RGB, how bright you have the RGB set to, which out of the box for me was at 33%. You've got your full range of customization options in Synapse, including DPI, programmable keys, some limited lighting options since you've only got RGB in the scroll wheel, polling rate, and liftoff distance. You've got a total of 9 customizable controls, that's basically one for each button and each direction on the scroll wheel, but you've got almost double that if you use Razer's Hypershift function, which I do, and it's really helpful. By default, Hypershift is assigned to this little side button here where you can reach with your thumb. You can basically program in a second option for all the other buttons on the mouse, hold that button down and press whatever button you want to press on the mouse to do whatever function you program. By the way, that Hypershift button on the side is not on the previous version of the Basilisk X. You could get the Basilisk X for cheaper at about $40 on sale nowadays, but it's not going to have that button there. Also, I've heard that the old one has some connectivity issues. I haven't had any connectivity issues with this in the time that I've been testing it, so your mileage may vary. The one thing the mouse does not have that I wish it would is onboard memory. For a wireless mouse that lets you connect to multiple devices with Bluetooth and 2.4 wireless, you would think they would have onboard memory so you can take your settings on the go with you on different devices. You want to connect to your PC, to a laptop, to whatever else. Obviously, you don't want to set that up on every device, but without onboard memory, you kind of have to. It's unfortunate. As far as the lighting, I don't love that the entire scroll wheel is lit up. I wish it was just the sides like it is on the Basilisk Ultimate. I don't like that the whole wheel is lit up. It also changes color depending on your DPI setting to show you what DPI setting that you're on, but it doesn't stay that color, it just shows you the color for a second so you can see what setting you're on and then goes back to whatever lighting setup you have programmed. I kind of touched on this earlier, but it doesn't have the infinite scroll function that the V3 Pro has. Basically that's where you can flick the scroll wheel and it will keep scrolling until you stop it, similar to on the G502 and the MX Master lineup from Logitech. The V3 Pro and I believe the V3 Wired are the first Basilisks to have that, and it would be nice if they had that here, even though I know that would be a little bit more premium, or at least give it the tilt functionality where you can do the side-to-side clicks for 2 more controls. Really, it just kind of needs something to set it apart a little bit more and make it a little more V3 with the rest of the lineup than just the fact that it's new. So why might you pick this version over something like the Basilisk Ultimate if you can get it on sale? Well, like I said before, I prefer the switches on the V3X. It also seems to have a slightly nicer build quality. Not that the build quality on the Ultimate is terrible, but it just feels like that you had to put your hands on it really to get it, but it just feels a little bit better. Also the texture, there's like a slightly bumpy texture on the plastic parts of the mouse, whereas the Ultimate is completely smooth and will definitely get gross and oily over time. This probably still will do that, but much less. With those bumps, you won't feel the gross sliminess as much as you probably will on something like the Ultimate. And of course, there's Bluetooth. There's no Bluetooth on the Ultimate at all, so if you want Bluetooth, there's your boy. So, do I recommend the Razer Basilisk V3X Hyperspeed? Yes. Really, if you want something comfortable and are okay with the weight, or you don't want a lightweight mouse, you want something that's going to be a great all-around mouse and not just dedicated to playing first-person shooters, then yeah, I would recommend it. Sure, it's heavier than modern FPS mice that weigh like 50 grams and are made for competitive gaming and what have you, but if you're not into lightweight mice and you want something heavier, then there you go. Also, it's just a mouse. It's heavier, but it's not like that heavy. Like, realistically, at the end of the day, it's not that heavy. I've got the included battery here, but if you really wanted to shave off a few grams, you could go with a lithium version. Or if you really want to use this mouse, but you absolutely want to get rid of every possible gram of weight to bring it down to the lowest amount possible that you can get out of this, you can just put it down and go outside. And that's gonna do it for me. I am done with this video because I've had to record it twice now, and I am just ready to move on and get this out the door because it's been a few weeks since my last video. But hopefully it won't be too long until my next video, so make sure you're subscribed. I've got some other mouse reviews coming in the future, some keyboard reviews, and some other stuff. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So if you're new, make sure you're subscribed. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, leave a comment and tell me what you did or did not like, or what you think about this mouse. Do you plan to pick this up? Will you be picking up the Ultimate on sale instead? Or will you spend the money for the Pro? Let me know what you think. I gotta go, I'm out of here. Make sure you watch one of these other videos, by the way, and click here to subscribe. Somewhere around here it's gonna be my face. Click that much better looking version of myself, and yeah, subscribe. I'm out of here.